Okay. Today is I honestly don't know what day it is. Today is the 11th. Yes, today is January 11th, 2026. It is a Sunday, and as you can see, well, if you're not new here, you can probably tell that I'm in a new space. This is our new home. Yeah. So today is Sunday. Seth and I have already cleaned the house. And now I'm just doing some bits and bobs. I really want to clean our like sunroom porch area. It's not a major necessity, but because Sebastian, our dog, baby boy, and said will like go in and out back there, I kind of want to try to um, just sweep out all the dust that's collected there. Right now, we're not really using it because it is so cold. Eventually, when the weather gets better, I'm gonna fully like clean it, put a rug in there, set up all the furniture, uh, which really the only furniture that needs to be set up is the egg chair. So right now, I'm trying to find my hair tools. As you can see, the closet, I've kind of taken over the top two shelves, which eventually that's gonna change. It's like we steamrolled when we got here, and I was determined to put so much stuff away. So things are where they should be. It's just that not necessarily everything is set up properly. For instance, in the bathroom cabinet, the like tier drawer system that I have, still have yet to put it together. Is it complicated to put together? No, not at all. It's just other things have taken precedence, and the house is basically like put together. It's just like very minor details. Anyways, that's what I'm looking for because it's been over a month. It's probably been 2 months. Who even knows anymore how long it's been since I've redone my hair? I have this thought every time my locks grow out and I don't feel like doing it, that I'm like, wow, it would be really nice just to chop all my hair off. Honestly, I miss having short hair, and especially when I dyed my hair to be like this honey, I wouldn't really say blonde. It was more of like a honey bronzish brown color, like slightly lighter than my skin tone. Love that color. Totally miss being able to just wake up, moose up, and go. But then when I think about how much time and effort I've put into growing my locks, I always go back on that idea. But I do really need to do my hair. I was gonna say want, and the thing is, I don't want to do the act of doing my hair, but I do want my hair to be done. So at the end of the day, I need to do my hair. I'm looking for my hair tool, and then honestly, I don't know if I should just do my hair and worry about the porch another day because the porch is really not a big deal. Really dumb, but that's neither here nor there. So, um, whatever. Anyways, I'm gonna stop rambling. I think I really just need to sit down and suck it up and do my hair. Um, I kind of want to wash it first, but I I fear that if I don't just sit down and start doing something, that it won't get done. And I had all of December to do my hair. Did not do it. Did not do it. So I don't want to make any more excuses. Might as well try to make use of the day. I might just start on the front to see, basically like to see more of a difference in like how the front looks. I need to go through that stuff because I've already gone through all the bathroom stuff and none of my hair stuff is in there other than a box of dye. And I know that I put my tools, my hair tools somewhere. So I need to go through that duffel bag and maybe that mesh bag. I just got to find out where it is because I thought I kept one of the tools in the toiletries bag that I bring with me to work and it's not there. So let's try to find this. Okay. What I'm looking for, I don't think is up here. I am quite confusion. I don't know where my hair tools are. Watch I find it because I could have swore I've gone through all this stuff and did not find any of my hair stuff in here. So at this point, I'm just confused. I don't find it. I don't know where it would be. See, this has some hair tools in it, but none of them are. Wow. Spoke too soon. Okay. So I found this container that literally has just one locking tool in there, which makes no sense because I know for a fact I own 3. Honestly, finding that one is better than not finding any of them. One moment. I have to use the bathroom. Okay. Now that that's taken care of, I'm gonna go ahead and start my hair in our room, and then when I get to the back, I'm probably gonna transition to the living room. Oh, okay. So, sorry, I just had an epiphany. I really feel like I should wash my hair. Just because I forgot that I used gel last night. My husband and I went to this housewarming party, and because my hair is not like freshly retwisted, I usually use just some gel to make it a little bit neater in the front, and I did not remember to rinse that out in the shower last night. I think I'm gonna go take a quick shower and come back and do it. That way I don't even have to use this spray bottle and my hair will be nice and moist. Because yeah, it is. I do feel like it's easier and it comes out neater when my hair is moist because I'm able to. I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go take care of that. Ugh, let me just go get it over with. I'll see you guys when I come back and finish showering. Okay, I'm officially so fresh and so clean. I guess while I take care of my dry skin, I can catch you guys up a little bit. So as I said earlier, today is January 11th. I'm pretty confident in that. No, I did not double check it. I really need to get a watch. I'm debating whether or not I want to get an Apple Watch or a Fitbit, just because, I don't know. Whenever I think about getting another Apple product, it reminds me that I don't know if I'm that gung ho about Apple, and I would want to get something that no matter what brand of technology I get, it will work with it. Hence, getting a Garmin or a Fitbit or any other universal type, like fitness, athletic type watch system. But yeah, I basically had most of December off for what my job calls holiday routine. So I only had to show up to just literally show my face, show that I was still in the country, still in the area, check my email, and then dip. And it was nice because one of my coworkers, who's no longer there, she moved on with her career, which is really awesome. Really happy for her, and I can't wait until I'm able to do that. But basically every time, except for one time, but every time we checked in, well, 2 times, because one time I think I showed up and left after her or before her, and then another time because it was the 27th and I would have to show up back for regular work in 2 days, I took a leave because I was like, listen, we checked in the 23rd. Of course, obviously, you have Christmas Eve and Christmas. I did not want to show back up at work just to have to really go back to work 2 days later. I was like, no. So I took leave for that one day. Um, and yeah, so that was really my month, obviously, including the packing and the moving, which surprisingly, it wasn't all that stressful. I think what really helps is that uh, we live up here where my mom is in Maryland. So it was really helpful to be able to have her take baby boy for the weekend and us be able to steamroll through things. And yeah, but of course, throughout the month, I did end up getting sick twice within the span of literally 1 month, like probably within 3 weeks. The first time I got sick, it was due to Black Friday. And I'm blaming Black Friday because before that, nothing else changed about what I did or what my habits were. But Black Friday, obviously, we were around a lot of people. And that was the first typical, like, cliche Black Friday I've had in literal years. I used to do Black Friday stuff with my mom and grandmother when I was a little one. But when I got older, like, my mom just wasn't really into that. She did everything online. Or some sales would extend past just Black Friday. So we would go probably like the next week or whatever. Um, but yeah, I wanted to experience the hustle and bustle of Black Friday, even though I wasn't like there's things I wanted to get, but I wasn't hell bent on getting them. But needless to say, within like 2 to 3 days of that, I ended up getting sick. I actually didn't go to work for a couple of days because I was running a fever. I had to go to urgent care. It was a whole thing. Um, I'm not sure if in my previous clips I've mentioned that, but here it is. If you didn't hear it, here it is again. If you did hear it, but yeah. So obviously that was around Thanksgiving. Fast forward within the next 2 to 3 weeks, I get sick again, and it was just such a horrible feeling because I've never been a sickly person. I was not a sickly child. And to me, to get sick twice within such a short span of time, I was honestly very worried. I was very worried. It wasn't crazy. Like, I don't think I had bronchitis or anything like that. Because the second time, I didn't even, because I had all that time off from work, and we were in the middle of holiday routine, I just sucked it up to go check in. Um, and I didn't even, what you call it, I didn't do urgent care or anything like that. I kind of just nursed myself at home. But that was that. That was basically December. Moving, dealing with getting sick, getting over that, moving, um, and just honestly enjoying the transition in life. Um, and yeah, so we've moved about an hour and a half away from where we used to live and much closer to a lot of amenities. Which is really nice. Much closer to my mom, which was one of the like major things of us moving, and it's just really exciting. Um, I look forward to how life is gonna look. Wait, how does that make sense? I look forward to how life will look in our new home, in our new neighborhood, in our new community, and yeah, I'm just really, really excited. The amount of space we have is divine. And I'm not someone who enjoys filling up space. Obviously, there's certain things I do want to fill up, like for instance, in our room. I've had this nightstand since I bought my house in South Carolina in 2021. Never had a second nightstand because when I bought my house, I was rolling solo dolo. And I just never ended up getting another one. And then with the schedule I have, because I'm not always home, there's like certain things that I don't make a big deal about because I'm not always home to enjoy them, but I know that my schedule won't always be this way. It'll eventually be where I'm able to come home every day and enjoy my home every day. So, there was things that were important, like I didn't want just 3 bedrooms. I wanted at least 4 because I knew that when my schedule changes, I would like to have my own office space. And I know that when it came to our last 2 spots, I prioritized said getting that office space because he's full-time work from home, stay at home dad. Um, and I, whatever type office work or editing or, creative work I would want to do, I'll just have to do it elsewhere in the house. But I would really like to have my own designated space. Just like he's able to have that for himself. So, um, yeah. I'm trying to see what else. But yeah, that's really it. Nothing major has changed in terms of like what we've brought to the house. One of the most major things is, I don't know if you can tell, this is our same bed, but I removed the posters, so like the second part of the poles and like the canopy poles and everything. I moved that because when I, wow, the lighting just changed drastically. But I used to always want the type of poster bed where people have like curtains hanging, not like actual curtains, but you know, like the linen, like completely see-through type curtains for that, you know, whimsical effect. But then when I thought about it, I was like, I never did that, by the way. Never ended up getting any type of curtains. But I was like, you know what? I kind of just want a regular bed. And I feel like it also opens up the space more because even though there were just poles, to me, I felt like it would take up space just visually. So I really like this setup. We were able to still keep the balls that were at the top so that this is not just an exposed, like sharp edge of pole. So it's really nice. It's like a whole different bed, but it's the same bed. So I just have to figure out how to get rid of those poles. I'm probably gonna have to take it to some sort of dump because it's not something that will be accepted in our like trash collection. But yeah, we finally have an ottoman now, which I've been wanting for a while. And my mom, that was her housewarming gift to us, which was really, really nice. Yeah, again, not much is honestly different. So upstairs is 3 bedrooms, downstairs has 3 bedrooms, and then there's a whole kitchen downstairs, so like a full size refrigerator, a full size like regular gas stove oven combo, which I'm pretty sure is brand new, by the way, because the people we bought the house from, I'm pretty sure they didn't actually live here. They were just flippers. Like they bought the house and like refurbished it and finished the basement because I really don't think the basement was a finished space before they bought the home and did what they did. Um, one moment, I need to find some. I might just use castor oil. Yeah, I need to get some castor oil for my hair. We finally have space for like an actual guest room. No, it's not actually put together, but we know where it's gonna be, and like that's something we want to do. Um, and so we have we have space for a guest room, and we also have the space to entertain people. Like even upstairs, the living room is larger. The kitchen has a very open floor plan, which is really nice. I love how the light travels through the home. Dang, I need more castor oil. Um, and the backyard space is lovely. It's a very spacious backyard. It came with 2 sheds, and on top of that, there's already a fire pit. And if anybody knows, I love fire. If you go back to the first videos that I've ever done on this channel that involve a lot of me camping and doing stuff outside, you know your girl loves a fire, loves to cook on the fire, sit by the fire, smell the fire, all the things. So yeah, and then on top of that, we have a very spacious porch, and then in the center of that porch is a is the screened in like sunroom situation. So it's so many things we wanted in a home. Oh, that's a lot. Too much. But yeah, so many of the things that we wanted in the home, like all the major things we wanted are here. The distance to mom, the location and the access to certain amenities and having more options and all that good stuff. The what else? What else? What else? The size, uh, the type of floor plan, even the type of floors. Like I was fine with even like vinyl flooring or whatever. I just really did not want carpet, and if we had carpet, I did not want it to be a major part of the floor plan, and there is no carpet to be found in this home. And I honestly love it. Now don't get me wrong, I'm a rug person. Like eventually I do want to get a rug for our bedroom to go under our bed, and getting a rug for baby boy's room because it is hardwood floor, and so just to make it a little bit more comfortable and also help with sound travel and all that stuff and dust control, uh, and also just to bring more color and life to spaces. I think that rugs are a great addition when you have hardwood flooring or just any type of non carpeted flooring. At the end of the day, this is the type of home we wanted, and I'm just really, really excited to see where this chapter takes us in our life here in Maryland. Oh my goodness, setting up internet here, the most stress I've ever had setting up internet in a home. And what's funny is that it was self-install, and still I've dealt with more stress with having to have people come and like organize a time for people to come and come into the house and have to go under the house and install wires and have to go down the block to get access to the whatever, electrical tower and whatnot. Have never had more stress in my life than in this home. In the beginning, it honestly felt like we were not destined to have Wi Fi with how much stress it took to just figure that out. So I don't want to like name names. I honestly don't think I have even, you know, the presence that would, warrant people coming after me for like mentioning them and blah blah blah. But we had one type of internet at the other spot and really no complaints. I mean, yeah, every now and then stuff would happen, but I also attribute that to the area we were in, that any like threat of a storm, it seemed like the Wi-Fi would act weird or go out or whatever. But anyways, we had one type internet, and I was completely fine with having that same internet once we moved, right? Fast forward, we move, and I will say that I probably waited too long to like do what needed to be done. But again, because it was and the last place we lived was the first time I've ever installed internet by myself. Literally, they sent the box, they sent the cord, they sent the power cord, and it was literally plug and play. No issues whatsoever. So I'm expecting with an established home in an established area, established internet, it should be the same thing. I was wrong. So I try to install it. It does not work. And mind you, before we even get to that, I called the company, let them know that I just simply needed to change my address, that we still wanted to keep the internet, still the same type of internet, didn't need to change anything other than our location. They were like, yeah, 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 we got you. I even mentioned that, like, because they play an automated recording of like what is ordered, like over the phone. And I know that could be my bad. That probably is my bad of like not fully recognizing. But in my head, I'm thinking if I have a gigabyte of internet and I hear two times 500 megabytes, so they said 500 megabytes, whatever, whatever, and then 500 megabytes of something. In my head, I'm like 500 and 500 is a gigabyte. So I'm thinking that it's just two different things that add up to the gigabyte that we've always had. I'm not thinking anything deeper than that, and where I could have done better. So, anyways, they end up giving me the exact opposite of what I asked for. They cut the internet in half, added cable. So one of the things they mentioned, that was what the 500, the other 500 gigs I think it was the cable. Like they only gave us 500 megabytes of internet and then 500, sorry, not 500 gigs. I think I said gigs earlier. They only gave us 500 megabytes of internet when that's half of what we had because we had 1 gigabyte of internet. And then they gave us 500 megabytes of like some sort of like cable service. And so when they came out, they were going to be installing a cable box and all that foolishness. I was just like, hmm? And I didn't figure this out until I tried installing. And I was like, let me call this customer service number because I have a bad, like, I just had a feeling that everything with that conversation went wrong. There was also a disconnect in like the communication and like him understanding me and me understanding him. I was just like, something's not adding up. So, and even though the second guy was able to like kind of rectify the issue, but not really, not fully, but like kind of reverse what the first guy did, it still was a whole thing. So, anyways, I talked to this guy. He basically is the one that lets me know, yeah, what you're saying you ordered is not what he ordered on your behalf. Like that's not the order he placed. He didn't even fully change the internet. Like I mean, not the internet. He didn't even fully change the address. The guy was saying that he never processed the change of address. So, anyways, that was a whole fiasco. Mind you, this is the week of Christmas, and again, this is my fault for not thinking about it sooner. But just with the headache of moving and all that, it just wasn't the first thing on my mind, honestly. Because again, I did not expect it. Ow, ow, ow. I did not expect it to be as much of a crap show as it was. So with the first mess up with the first guy, he was telling me that it was able to be self-installed, but then I was like, why am I getting a notification about a service appointment if you told me it was self-installable? Da da da. He was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna connect you to customer service, and like the team will walk you through it, and so at the end of that, like they'll take it off of the thing, like you won't see the appointment anymore. I'm like, okay. And again, this is my first experience like this with this company, so your girl is not thinking anything of it. um so lo and behold, I'm on the phone with somebody for probably two, I think it was 2 hours, a little bit over 2 hours, trying to install this internet. And of course it doesn't work. um and again, it's the week of Christmas. The order that the first guy did that was completely wrong had a service appointment for Christmas Eve. And the next guy that helped me, he said, my only concern is that when we cancel this order, we have to cancel it because it's not what you ordered, but because we're canceling it, the service appointment will also be canceled with it. And my concern is that if you're not able to self-install, you won't be able to have that early date of installation anymore. But then he tried to assure me, he was like, oh, well, because the option for self install is showing up, there's apparently, he was saying, and I feel like this was probably BS. Yeah, because he was saying that, oh, when something is marked as self install, if it doesn't go through, they're supposed to have this reserve of people that have to come out within 24 to 48 hours because it was guaranteed self install and it didn't work out. Child, let me tell you, we were not able to get anybody to come to the house until New Year's Eve. Mind you, my husband works from home full time. Me, your girl was thrifting DVDs, renting DVDs from the library, whatever. It's not the biggest deal to me. And then I have my phone, I read, I game, like I can figure it out. But hubby literally works from home. He needs a private internet connection. And we both have hotspots, but they only go to a certain amount of like data. So that was another whole thing. Why am I not able to get this? This is really bugging me. Because I know I can loop it through another time. So, anyways, yeah, needless to say, that whole 24 to 48 hour requirement bullcrap was bullcrap. And we had to wait all the way from the 22nd to the 31st for somebody to come out. Lo and behold, so through that time, Said had used as much of the hotspot as he could before it started slowing down and couldn't use it anymore to like do the work he needed to do. So he has to start driving to my mom's every day, which thankfully, like, this is not woe is us. This is just like the craziness that installing Wi-Fi was when it really shouldn't have been like that crazy. It probably still would have been crazy, but it would have been less crazy if people didn't do the complete opposite of what I asked them to do. But thankfully, one of the things we did was what? Move closer to mom. So he was able to drive to hers, and of course my mom had no issue with that. Like, um, she's just that type of person. Anytime that there's, like, for instance, when the power would go out where we lived, because of the storms that didn't even seem that bad. From the time we've moved in there, it's like there'll be a threat of a storm and then the power goes out. But anytime that was an issue and the power would go out, and it's not conducive to having a baby in the house with no, heating or cooling, whenever time of year it was, or obviously also the power being out and not having internet and him needing to do work, my mom has never hesitated to say, all he needs to do is show up and let me know he's there. But she's never said no. So, but yeah, so he was doing that, going back and forth every day, waking up crack of dawn, to wake baby boy up to get him ready and get to mom's in time to log in and whatnot. uh but yeah, so we wait all the way to the 31st for somebody to finally come out. I'm so excited because I get off of work. I went back to work, doing the regular 2 2 3 shift. I did that on the 29th, right? That's when I went back to work. So I was blessed with the way they did holiday routine. I was blessed to have both Christmas and New Year's off. So it didn't work like that for everybody, but for me, and the crew that we were on, that's how it worked out for us. So it was honestly, it was a huge blessing to be able to experience, especially considering I wasn't able to be with my family for Thanksgiving. It was a huge blessing to be able to experience that with experience both of those holidays with my family. So yeah. So anyways, I get off on the 31st. I'm so excited. I'm like, oh, we finally gonna get internet today. Honey, no. We did not in fact get internet. We wait all that time for what you call it, the technician to come out, only to tell us that there's basically no physical way to install this internet. The company that I wanted to stick with hasn't been using this area in a long time, and by policy, over 6 months of the lines not being used for the internet, they put some sort of lock on it. I don't know if it's like a literal physical lock on the line or a digital lock of some sort. It's probably some sort of like, software type or hardware type engineering lock. I don't know. But they make it so that, because it's not being used by the company, they don't want anybody to come along and like tap into the line that's not theirs. So they put a lock on it. However, this lock, even though it's probably not a physical padlock, it is physical enough that they need to get to an area of the line to unlock said lock. There's no physical way to do that. It's been so long. The way the one of the sheds is the way one of the sheds is set up in our corner of the yard, plus our neighbor's shed, and all their, apparently it's not just a shed, they have like a whole bunch of crap and stuff and tires and stuff around the shed blocking off that corner of that fence. And the neighbor next to us on this side also has a shed there, basically triangulating and cutting off access for somebody to use, for him to use the ladder he needs to use to get to that part of the line. He said the only other option would to have, one of those trucks that come in that have like the ladder that you see people go up in and they're doing whatever type of line work. But there's no possible way to do that with the fact that there's no access into the backyards unless you were supposed to knock down all of our fences and things like that. Like there was no physical way of doing what needed to be done. What needed to be done. So lo and behold, we end up having to go. Mind you, when we moved here, when you go downstairs, you do see that there was a different company established here. Um, and it might have been it probably would have been much less of a headache if I just chose to leave the first company and go with the second company. But at the time, the things that were on my mind, it was like, why am I starting a whole nother account when I've been paying for this one? And like we have the equipment already, it's plug and play, da 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 da. Also, I was not expecting it to be all that it was. I was expecting it literally to be plug and play. Girl, it was not plug and play. It was not plug and play. Oh, how I wish it was plug and play, and it was not plug and play. So, needless to say, long story long, we end up going with the company that was already here. But even that it was a whole thing because the account that was on this house was never ended. So we ask our realtor, hey, can you tell the sellers to end their accounts so that we can have. She says the seller said that they never had in there. It has to be the people that were there before them. And that's when I kind of figured out, okay, so they didn't actually live here. They were just flippers. So we had to upload proof showing that we were the ones that lived here because there's like no way to really get in contact with the people who lived here 2 purchases ago. And then we couldn't use it because they also left the box here. Like they basically left everything but the power cord here. So they left the box here, and I was hoping that at least we would be able to use that because the lady was like, oh, if they've left the equipment there, all you have to do is plug it in, and the Wi-Fi, password and username are there, so you should be able to just connect from that. Of course, they leave everything but the power cord, and I try to look at it as like everything happens for a reason. because who's to say we would have like tapped into the internet, and even though the person like working for that company said it was okay, who's to say that, I don't know, who's to say that it wouldn't have been okay and it would have been a whole thing, who knows, honestly. So then we have to wait until the 6th to even get the equipment. So from New Year's Eve, like, so basically a week from that, we were waiting for the equipment to be delivered because of course, uh they have to send out new equipment for every new account, which I guess makes sense, so that you can ensure somebody's getting equipment that for sure will work because it's coming straight from, the company, and it's not being passed down, and so people aren't like filing claims for like broken equipment and da 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 da. I guess it makes sense. But when you add everything up, from the 19th of December to January 6th, this home did not have any Wi-Fi. um yeah, but thankfully we do have Wi-Fi now. Hubby is able to work from home now, like work from his home. So that's nice. That is a blessing. And honestly, like I said, this is not a woe is me. This is definitely first world problems. I just thought it was hilarious. Well, during the time I was going through it, I did not think it was hilarious. I thought it was so stupid. And it is still so stupid. But I think it's so hilarious, all the hullabaloo we went through. And if I was less of a I'm a stand my ground type person and just went with what my husband said. And my husband said, whatever will get us Wi Fi the fastest. But again, I didn't know that the original company we were going with wasn't going to work. So it is what it is. I just try to look at it as like it happened the way it happened because it was supposed to happen the way it happened. But anyways, that was just 15 minutes of me rambling that story. So I think I'm gonna be doing this for a while. I think I'm gonna put something on in the background. I think I'm gonna finish listening to my audiobook. Right now I'm listening to Frida McFadden's The Intruder. I'm pretty sure I'm like within half an hour of it being done. It's a pretty cool book. I feel like I would rate it maybe 3 stars, 3.5 stars. It's not bad. It's not like by any means groundbreaking. Um, but it's good. It's an easy plot to follow. It sounds good on audio. I like listening to it. I'm just hoping that I can at least get a good amount of the front of my hair done today. Even if the back is not done, the front is like more important. But other than that, that's really my day. At some point, baby boy will be dropped back off from being with my mom all weekend. So it's really just gonna be me enjoying a quiet home until he comes back. Okay, so this is currently my progress. Like I said, I started on the front, and then usually when it gets to an awkward spot, like around this part of my head, I just move to the back because it gets to a point where it's just easier to go back to front. And the way I see it is that since I've been doing that, since I've been starting with the front of my head until it kind of gets uncomfortable, and then I move to the back of my head, I've noticed that it just works better for times if I choose not to finish it all on the same day. At least basically the perimeter of my head is done, so that like for work I have to have it in a ponytail. For work it looks much neater because again the perimeter is done. So I just wanted to show you guys some progress. Yes, I have on, oh, one moment, my mother is calling me. Okay, we're back. Yeah, I just wanted to show you my progress. Yes, I have on different glasses. I was on the phone with my mom. She had FaceTimed me, and she has baby boy, and she was at my aunt's house, and my cousin was there, and I just ended up talking to my cousin. And my cousin is like a lock extraordinaire, a lock professional, a lock. I don't, all the words. Like she knows everything about locks.
Tell me why, for whatever reason, I couldn't think of the word loctician or cosmetologist. Out here using all these daggone adjectives, adverbs, nouns, and whatnots.
She's locked her hair, her sister's hair, her daughter's hair. She does it for her business, and not just locking. She knows how to do a lot of things with hair in general. But she was trying to teach me how to like reattach one of my locks like right here. And your girl was getting frustrated. It was not working. I don't know if it's just, I know it's probably possible, but with my limited skill, it was not. And I, don't get me wrong, I dedicated at least 20-25 minutes to try to figure this out. Looked at a video she sent me. It was not working. I was like, I'm just gonna have to find you, cause it's not working. And I was like, like right here is tender. I was like irritating it, kept trying to pull it to try to listen. And I was struggling to do that. And I'm like, dang, I still have a whole head of hair to finish locking. So, but yeah, but this is my progress in the back. Hopefully, you guys can see. Can you see the back of it? So, so like I said, at a certain point, like after doing the front of my hair, it just gets easier, especially to give my arms a break. It just gets easier to just come from the back. But this is what I have so far. Anyways, I just finished listening to The Intruder by Freedom McFadden. If you follow me on Goodreads, or if you don't, the link will be down below. But I gave it a final star. I mean, I'm sorry, I gave it a final rating of 3.5 stars. It was not bad. I actually quite enjoyed it. I see what people say when they say her thrillers are very easygoing in terms of like they're easy to keep up with. Um, they also are very fast paced. I feel like even from the beginning of the book, you kind of jump right into the action, but do feel that it had a nice ebb and flow of action and then, staying calm for a little bit and having action, but it didn't feel like, I don't know. I feel like there's certain books where the action just comes out of nowhere and it's not always in a good way. Like it kind of throws you off, and so it's kind of hard to follow the plot. But I did not feel that way at all with this story, and so yeah, I gave it 3.5 stars. I definitely am looking forward to reading more of her books. I have never read her books before. I do own the first book of uh, The Housemaid, so I look forward to reading that. And I'm probably going to do that soon just because I do want to watch the movie, but I really, 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 really want to read that book first. Same thing with It Ends With Us or It Starts With Us. I forgot which one is the first book, but It Ends With Us, that duology, I do want to read at least that first book before seeing that movie. And I know that movie came out a while ago and that The Housemaid recently came out into theaters. But, anyways, let me get back into the zone because hubby went out to go get us some food. And I know that when he comes back, I'm starving. So I know that when he comes back, I'm going to want to take a break and just eat. And knowing me, even after I finish eating, I'm probably just going to want to sit and take a break for a little bit. So I'm trying to get as much done as possible before he comes back with some nom noms. Pray for me. My arms are aching. My scalp is screaming. I just want to be done with this. And I spoke to my cousin. I was like, maybe I should just chop it off. She said, Maya, don't do it. She said she's been having those thoughts. So she put some rollers in her hair to give her locks a little curl. She said her sister's been having those thoughts. And she said, you know what? Let me just dye it to have something a little different. Everybody is going through the same thing. I know first step for me is just getting it done. My hair is already the color, like I've already been dyeing it the color that I want it to be. I don't really care for it to be another color right now. So I say all that to say, my biggest thing that will help me get back into like loving my hair is having it done. I know once I get over that hurdle, I usually feel much better. It's just, anyways, I'll stop talking about my love hate relationship with my hair. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next clip. Okay, so as you can see, I've shifted to the living room. I had something to eat, and now I'm just gonna try to watch a movie and steamroll through as much as I can get through before baby boy gets back home. He should be here somewhere between 7 and 8, and currently, I think it's like 3 something. So, well, maybe like 4 something. I don't know, somewhere between 3 and 4 something. So I feel like if I can stay focused, I can probably honestly finish this before he gets home. But yeah, so currently I'm watching Beowulf. I've never seen it before. I'm pretty sure it's also a book. Never read the book before. but it was just something that caught my eye when I was browsing for movies in the library. Anyways, not gonna keep rambling, trying to get this done, and I probably will see you guys either when something changes or when I finish my head. So yeah. And that was the third giant? Because the other one didn't actually like browse through. Piedmont, South Carolina? Yeah. Who is that, WWE? No, this was Power Slam. Oh. I guess I assume everything that's announced like that is WWE. You didn't tell me that Beowulf was basically the same animation as Shrek. Oh, you watching Beowulf? Yeah. These characters look like the same quality as Shrek. Yeah. No, I came up with that Shrek. I don't know why. I guess from the front cover, I assumed it was like real people. Cause I mean, around that time this came out, the graphics were like top tier. Okay, baby boy got home. I don't know how some of y'all do it. I watch some of y'all on this platform and your kids be wholly present and doing all the things that they do, and y'all are still able to record. I guess my kid is just different because, first of all, I'm here in the bathroom, and even though he was with me, I had to put y'all on the sink because even though he'll leave the tripod alone when it's just by itself, like in a space, as soon as he sees that my phone is on it and I'm recording, he just has to start messing with it. And then because he knows I'm recording, he'll just start, and he does the same thing when my husband has to get on a call for work or when I'm on the phone. He'll just start making all the noise. Like, as you can see, he was screaming, and it's just a lot. Like, that's what I tell y'all. Like, I be wanting to record, but then I can't really do much talking recording. So yes, I know I can record a lot of behind the scenes and not really me talking, but stuff like this where I want to sit down, or in this case I'm standing up but talk to y'all, it just, it's not that it's impossible with him, but it's very, it feels that way. Just because he's not some chill, peaceful toddler. He's really not. Um, but anyways, I'm not gonna stay here long. I'm gonna find something to snack on. It's late. I haven't had dinner. I think I might find something to munch on, and then I'm going to just chill for the rest of the night. I need to get my stuff together for work. I actually need to go downstairs. I totally forgot to hang up the laundry from downstairs. So, but yeah, I don't even know how long my hair took me. I would have to look at when I'll have to look at when I started recording earlier today when I got in the shower. But yeah, I'm glad I finally finished it. And now here's to the next probably 3 months of me not doing this again. I don't even know how long it's been since the last time I redid my locks. But yeah, it always feels good to have fresh locks. It's a process. Your girl has a lot of hair. And there's some locks. Like, I feel like every time I interlock, I lose another lock. And that's just because there's depending on like how long I've let it grow out, and because my locks, some of them are pretty small. Basically, I had a lock that was very skinny, and before I even interlocked, like, I knew it was very skinny. I was like, maybe I can make it work. And it just, with what I was trying to do, it ended up coming out anyway. So I have like three locks at this point that I'm saving, just think like for this one. This was one that I had to cut out, but the hair is like growing, so it's going to end up becoming its own lock anyway. And eventually I'll probably just have my cousin connect the like one of the other locks. But then I also have this spot right here where I had to take a lock out. And usually when I have to take a lock out, um, because that one that came out today, it was only because it was so thin, it just wasn't even worth, like, even when the hair grows back in that area, like the square inch or square centimeter space of where the hair was so tiny. It was probably like 3 strands holding that lock in. So just the tension of me trying to like interlock or knot up those 3 strands, it gave up the ghost basically. So, but for something like these ones here, that I remember when I had to take them out, is because they had like knots at the base. Sometimes, depending on how like lumpy or bumpy, like not all, because the process of me starting my locks was kind of rough. I didn't even intentionally start them in terms like in this size, but I say all that to say, sorry, I feel like I'm all over the place. Like, it's just, it's always a transition when baby boy comes back home, and it's even more of a transition when he comes back home in the middle of me trying to finish something, and I'm like trying to move faster and faster, as fast as I can. I really can't move that fast, but trying to move faster with getting my hair done. And so sorry if I sound rambly and all over the place. But with these two, sometimes what will happen is in the process of me interlocking or trying to like strengthen the lock, sometimes there would just be a knot at the base. Sometimes if I let a day or two go by, I can, like, the knot will kind of like slip out and it'll become like the regular lock. But in these cases, the knot did not come out, and then my hair would just keep growing and locking with that knot. And I don't like the way, I mean, I feel like you can't really tell when it looks that way, but I don't like the way it feels. And because I know it's there, I end up just cutting locks off, because to me hair is going to grow back. So, and I know that I can always reattach the lock. um so but yeah, so right now I just have this little piece of hair here, and this spot is actually still tender from me trying to connect it with another lock earlier. But I'm probably going to end up doing to this one what I did with this one. Like, for the longest, this one I kept, this is the longest it's been able to stay like as a braid, because when it was shorter I kept trying to braid it and twist it and interlock it. And because my hair, when it's moist, it can get so soft, and the hair around my perimeter is softer than the hair like in the center of my head and on my crown. So this one like kept unraveling, and I would keep rebraiding and keep re-interlocking and all that stuff. But this is actually, I think it's finally starting to like mat in on itself, because I think I've been able to wash my hair 3 times and this stay in. So I'm probably just gonna have to have that same patience with this piece of hair here. And yeah, like I said, I have like 3 locks, so I know that I could still add the lock onto this one and then let this grow out and add the lock onto this one as well. Anyways, like I said, it's late. I'm gonna get something to eat. It's not gonna be anything heavy because I hate going to bed on a heavy stomach. Honestly, before I even do that, I'm gonna get baby boy to bed because it is his bedtime anyway. It's after 9. It's probably like 9:05 at this point. So I'm gonna go ahead and like get his process ready for bed, which is usually the usual: make him a cup of milk, brush his teeth, clean him up, read him a story, and say his prayers and his night night. So it's funny because since he's come home, because we had the lights off, like we turned the lights off and we were watching a movie and I was doing my hair, he kept saying night 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 night. And he's like moseying up on my lap, like, because I had the blanket over me, and so he cannot see me chill on the couch, sitting, laying down, reclining, whatever. He cannot see me chilling anywhere with a blanket without joining me. So he was like climbing up on me, saying like night night, night night, night night, and now he's calling me. So, anyways, I'm gonna let you guys go. I go back to work tomorrow, so I don't know if I'll record anything for the next 2 days, honestly. I come back home on Wednesday. So, but yeah, see you guys when I see you guys. here. Today is currently January 20th, 2026. It is a Tuesday, and today was the first day that we dropped baby boy off for daycare. Um, I really don't have any worries. I think the main emotion I feel is just so excited to see his development in this new stage of life. But you know, or if you don't know, your girl is emotional. So I did shed a few tears when uh, when we left after dropping him off. So we dropped him off at 7:45. We'll probably pick him up somewhere between 5 and 5:30, probably more so 5 o'clock. So it's just me and Seth at home today. And right now I'm just about to get into editing. I made myself a cup of chai tea. Well, I mixed two different chais together. I mixed the Tazo chai with the yogi, I think it's like the honey turmeric chai. And then honestly, I want to add some, just a little bit of heavy cream and then some sugar. I normally use honey in my tea, but I feel like with chai, because chai to me is more like I like it more like a milky type of tea. I like to add sugar. Sometimes honey has such a significant flavor that it doesn't always go with the things I'm trying to sweeten. Oh, so honestly, I think I might use maple syrup. Yeah, I think I'll use maple syrup and some heavy cream. But I'm not gonna ramble for long. I'm really just about to zone in and edit this video, not the one you're watching, but by the time you watch this video, this vlog will be up. And yeah, life's been lifing. I've just been, getting back into the swing of things, going to work for a normal work schedule, coming home, basically same thing, just different place to call home. So yeah, but anyways, let me zhuzh up my tea and get in the zone. 25th. I should be going into work tomorrow, but they told us to not come into work tomorrow because of this snowstorm that we've been having. I'm hoping I can go in on Tuesday, because if not, then we're going to have to make up for the other shift by working 5 days in a row, which I really don't want to do. I'd rather just show up, they get a free pass to like miss any other day of work, and we work the schedule as normal. But it's out of my hands. I've already given my opinion, so we'll see what happens. But anyways, I've been slacking over the last 2 days during this snowstorm. I've been munching after 5 o'clock. I have not worked out since I left work on Thursday. So that's Friday, Saturday, and then today's Sunday. So I'll consider that my last 2 days of a break. I'm on my cycle and I missed it last month, so I feel like it's just hitting me harder than it normally does. I really don't have the most tumultuous cycles in terms of like heavy bleeding or heavy cramping. I dealt with that prior to being an adult, prior to having baby boy. But I feel like because my body didn't deal with it last month, that it coming back and it's not a heavy flow. I would say it's more like light, maybe medium. But yeah, I think it's just taking a toll on my body. But anyways, I'm gonna do a Grow with Joe video, because if anybody encourages doing it even when you're tired, just doing what you can, how you can, whatever you can, it's her. So I'm gonna do a video of hers, probably somewhere like a 20 to 30 minute video, depending on how I feel. I might just do a 20-minute video. I don't know. I kind of want to do a 30-minute video so I know for at least half an hour that I moved my body. But yeah, I also want to get some editing in. Baby boy just went down. I recently uploaded a video kind of like bringing us into the new year. But I do want to start editing this next video. So I also need to, there's just like so much that I have to do. I still need to like figure out hiring a cleaner for the old place. And it's really not difficult. I just, all this stuff going on and like using so much like physical and brain power, and then going back to work like right after figuring out this whole move. I just feel like I've been running and then I fell, hit the ground, continued running, and just running. And it's weird because at work, I feel like I get a little bit of a break, but then it's like, it doesn't feel like a real break because obviously I'm working, and then I know I'm gonna have to come home. And anyways, I'm rambling. I'm gonna change into, well, I already have on shorts and a t-shirt. I think I'm just gonna put on a sports bra, get to the living room, and do a simple workout. Well, I'm debating whether or not I want to do it up here or downstairs. The thing is, I want to use the big TV, and there's no TV downstairs yet. So the more I think about it, just the headspace I'm in, I don't even want to do like a 20-30 minute video. I just want to do a 15-minute video. And even when I think about that, I'm like, I don't know. I know I need to move my body. So, I mean, it's not like I don't move my body, but like most of the day, like when I'm home, especially because it's snowing, I haven't taken the initiative to, you know, put on all my gear and go outside and get fresh air. And I think that's one of my biggest things that I want to try to combat this year is, regardless of what the weather is outside, that for at least 5 to 10 minutes every day, I'm making sure I'm getting that fresh air. Now, with the job I have now, it's very easy. Like we have to go outside every morning to do the same routine we do every morning. That's really not a problem. I like am kind of forced to have fresh air there. But when I get home, because I'm not able to have the moments of sedentary at work. When I get home, it's just so easy to just stay inside and be a homebody. Like literally the last time I was outside. Yeah, I just want to do better about pushing myself to get outside, even if I'm just like standing there and breathing in air. I feel like it would help with my mood. It would help with just like centering myself and motivation and all the things. Whatever Grow with Joe video piques my interest is the one we're gonna go with. I do have to say, I am proud of myself. Like, even though I'm like slightly disappointed in the last 2 days, at the same time, I feel like I am giving myself an amount of grace because I've been doing really well even before this new year started. Because I'm not that I don't mind having like a general vision for the year come January 1st. At the same time, it's been a while since I've actually like forced myself to be like, oh my gosh, on this day, boom, like go, 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 we gotta do this, new year, new me, da 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 da. Like, it's more so like I take my time, especially with the type of weather it is. It's like I don't really feel revived and feel like I'm ready to step into my new self, and that I've like conglomerated all of my thoughts and ideas and dreams and visions and all that stuff until like the frost is gone and flowers and greenery are starting to pop up again. That's when I feel ready to kind of take on the world like that. I'm also not somebody that's like, on this date we have to start this new habit or whatever, like just because it's the new year. My thing is like, if you want to build a habit, do it now. Like, start it in that moment. Not saying that you have to hit the ground at 100%, but do a little. Like, if your goal is to become more fit, start, I don't know, doing like 25 jumping jacks or doing like a 10-minute workout every day. You know what I mean? Whether it's a walk. Like, I'm that type of person. It's like, if I want to start doing something, I'm going to start at a low level, like entry level type stuff. But I'm going to do it that day. I say all that to say that even before the new year, I've been doing very well about intermittent fasting. So I'm on an 18-6 plan. In terms of like what I'm eating, I'm not being too strict on that because I'm not eating a lot in general. I only have 6 hours of an eating window. So yes, I still do, like, if I feel stacky and I want a chip, I have a chip. Over the past like couple of months to a year, I've rarely like bought chips. And if I buy chips, it's like, okay, I'm munching on them and then I don't have it for like a couple more months. And then I've stopped eating chips. Like, I was actually telling my coworker about this the other day. I cannot remember the last time I've had a Dorito. And if anybody knows me as a kid, your girl was blue chips all the way. Like, Cool Ranch Doritos. Ugh, my heart. I would love to find that flavor of chip in like Aldi or Trader Joe's or some like organic, clean, healthy version, but have that flavor. But that's neither here nor there. So but yeah, so I'm not being too strict about what it is I'm eating. It's more so I'm trying to make sure that I'm not eating out of a certain time frame. And yeah, even though I've slacked over the last 2 days, I've been on it since before the new year started. So yeah, I'm just trying to give myself grace with that. And like right now, I can always pick up with it again. I did munch a little bit after 5 today, but I'm gonna do a quick workout and then tomorrow I'll be back on it. And yeah, such is life. But anyways, I'm gonna stop rambling, get this quick workout in, and try to get some editing done, even if it's minimal.
If you're new here, my name is Joe, and I used to be stuck in that mindset of shame and guilt and sadness that I had gained weight from my first pregnancy. I gained 50 pounds, but then I realized there's hope if I get up and just start with something small in my living room.
Okay, so I just did my workout. I did a 20-minute Tabata or Tabata, whatever it's called. But I did 20 minutes of that with Grow with Joe. I'm really glad that I did it. So now I'm gonna hop in the shower. I just finished the first book in the Fae and Alchemy series, Quicksilver. It was really good. I gave it 5 stars. And so now I'm so glad that Libby had Brimstone available. So I'm about to get into that. I am sad that it's not the end of the series. I was seeing on Goodreads, apparently the author Callie Hart is coming out with another one this year. The end of that book ended crazily, and I'm just excited to see what happens in this one. So I will be listening to that while I clean my body. This is me after looking back at that clip and realizing that my mirror needs to be cleaned. And I was like, should I do it over? But honestly, such is life. My house ain't dirty, but it's also not gonna be perfect, spick and span everywhere all the time. So that's just a little sidebar. But anyways, let's get into the shower. Before we do that, I forgot that I need to hang back up those curtains. I'm gonna do that and then I'm gonna get in the shower. I cannot stand hanging shower curtains. Regular curtains, not too bad. You know, if you have to drill some holes, then you feed that thing through, pop it on top, you're done. Bro, when it comes into the individual hook thing, I cannot stand hanging shower curtains. But they're nice and fresh and clean. The liner is bleached, the outside is washed, and it's done.
Podium Audio presents Brimstone, Book 2 of the Fae and Alchemy series, written by Callie Hart, performed by Anthony Paolini and Stella Bloom. But in death, he had been preserved to live the emotions they had felt as they died, like the faintest trace of perfume that lingered after a night. An hour ago, my head had been full of you. You later was dead, probably. Yes, we, I, could give him.
But there was a line that he did, and I'm going to put it on the screen if I can find it, which I'm sure I can.
Is this on? Okay. So it is now the next day. It is January 26th, 2026. As you can see, I'm not at work. I'm not going into work today. The plan so far is that we will be going in tomorrow, which I was hoping for. I was hoping that we wouldn't also miss Tuesday because then we would be expected to work 5 days in a row to make up for the other team. And your girl just does not want to do that. I do not want to do that. Like, yeah, I know it sucks that they had to work, 4 days in a row or whatever. As long as they don't work tomorrow and we go in as normal, they'll get a free Liberty Pass to like use whenever they would like. Anyways, yeah, so it's the next day. Y'all, last night I did get a little bit of editing done. I lie to you not, you guys, we were up past midnight last night trying to get this boy to fall asleep. I'm over here falling asleep in his bed, lying next to him, cramped up, because my big behind is in a toddler bed, and he would not fall asleep. Like, how can I be comfortable in a toddler bed and he not fall asleep? Anyways, I don't want to ramble on for too long. It's been 6.5 minutes, so we're gonna go ahead and get to editing. I do want to get some fresh air. Part of me almost wants to do that before editing, just because I know I said yesterday that I would get some fresh air. And the clouds have finally parted. We're seeing blue sky today. Nothing is coming down anymore, thank God. So like the snow is starting to melt. I just pray that everybody on the road is safe. I pray that the roads are good enough for me to go to work tomorrow. Yeah, I think I might stand outside for a little bit. Gonna put on some sweats, my hoodie, my puffy coat.
find my snow boots wherever they are, and get some fresh air. And then I'll come back and feel like I'm rejuvenated enough to do some editing. But I feel like I'll really enjoy getting some fresh air and being in the backyard and kind of just being in my own space. Literally the only thing that's walked here are the stray cats, like you can see their paws. But other than that, it is fresh powder out here. Wow. So, something that I thought about while just sitting here, this this is really nice. Like, despite the weather, um, I'm very blessed to be in a situation where I can literally just step into my backyard, sit down, because thankfully this bench is no longer covered in snow, and just breathe in the cold air and just try to, ride it out for however long my body can tolerate it as it slowly starts to cool down. But yeah, I'm just really grateful to be alive, to be able to breathe this fresh, crisp air. And I just love our house. I love our backyard. I am excited to see what the spring brings for us, and being in a situation where we can literally sow seeds into the ground and see them come to fruition. And yeah, I'm just really excited. You guys are right now partially propped in our fire pit, which is like literally a snow pit. But yeah, I can't remember the last time I walked in snow that was like deep enough to go past my ankles, because the last time I wore these boots, I honestly couldn't even tell you. I don't even remember if I wore them last winter, but maybe I did. Maybe I wore them to work a couple of times, I'm not sure. But yeah, I feel like I have so many feelings right now. I think overall, I'm just, like I said, I'm just very grateful. I feel very blessed. I am very blessed. Thankful. And just in awe. Like, the fact that this is like a foot of snow, and beneath it is life waiting to bloom again. I think that's so cool. Hey y'all, hopefully you can hear me all right, and hopefully you can't hear the robot vacuum in the background. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to hop on here real quick. Today is January 29th, 2026, and right now I'm about to get into some reading. I did a little bit of editing earlier. I only have today off. I go back to work tomorrow, so I got off of work this morning and I'm going back tomorrow morning for the weekend. Because in a typical week, this week I would have worked Monday, Tuesday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But since the storm kept them over till Monday and they weren't released until Tuesday, we worked Tuesday and their Wednesday to make up for them working our Monday. And then they just worked today and then we worked the weekend. So this way, nobody needs to get like a free pass to take a day off because nobody's technically working more days than they're supposed to. So I'm just soaking up my house while I can, even though I know I had all those days at home in a row. When I think about it, I'm like, dang, it was only one extra day, but it felt like so long. I guess when you're trapped inside with snow and everything and you don't leave the house for like 4 days, it does feel like you've been there for like a week. But yeah, but prayerfully, the weekend goes by quickly. We're supposed to get another storm rolling in, unfortunately, but thankfully it's only supposed to be about 2 inches. So I'm praying that that's what it stays at. And if it changes, I'm hoping it changes in the negative direction in terms of like being less than 2 inches. Right now, I'm about to continue reading. I haven't gotten too far in this book yet, but I recently started reading When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. And so far, the way it started off is pretty intriguing. I'm not gonna lie. As I started this book, I was kind of distracted. I was trying to read it in the lounge at work, and but I did try to read some before bed. I think like last night or the night before. And so far so good. Like I said, I really haven't gotten that far. Let's see where I am. So I'm on page 23, which is the end of chapter 2. So I would like to try to at least get to page 50 today, but we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I'm home. Baby boy's home. So I don't know how much he'll let me just sit peacefully. I might put on one of my Korean camping YouTubers that I like to watch. There's probably like 4 or 5 of them that I watch at this point. Well, most of them are camper YouTubers, I guess camp tubers, but a few of them are just lifestyle YouTubers, but I like their vibe. But I don't know, I've been really enjoying watching more Korean creators lately. Their vibes are usually just very, very peaceful. At least the side of Korean YouTube that I'm on is very peaceful, very vibey, very mostly ASMR and just kind of like if you could put lo-fi into a visual aspect, that's what their content gives for me. So, anyways, I don't want to ramble on too much. I'm gonna get into some more of this book, and she's a thick one too. But I'm looking forward to. I don't know. I know some people feel daunted by thick books, but I feel like they excite me even more to read. So, anyways, I'm gonna get off of here and get into this bad boy, and I'll check in with you guys when I check in with you guys.